What is up, y'all? Dave Cuts here, back with another video, and today I got a super in-depth tutorial. My man is getting a taper. We're doing the beard, fading the beard in, lining everything up, doing the eyebrows, the whole nine. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Stick around. Reese, what's up, dude?
What's up, man?
How we cutting your hair today, boss man?
Taper on the side.
Just the what? Taper on the side like normal, taper in the back. And you want to cut the beard down some? Okay. Like a 2 on the side like we normally do?
Yeah.
And then fade it in?
Yes,
What about the chin hair? You want to bring that down some or leave it?
I'll leave it.
Leave it, okay. And then line everything up.
Yes,
All right, cool. So instead of fussing with his hair the whole time, because his hair is kind of in that in-between spot where it's almost long enough to put it in a bun, I'm just going to wet it and then kind of brush it out. That way I can put it up and not really have to be fussing with it the whole time. See that? Now we got the hair in a bun. If I need to, I can use some hairspray and maybe brush this up to get it out the way. But pretty much, I'm not gonna have to worry about the top of his hair. If I would have just used some clips, I would have been fighting with it the entire cut. So, how long did that take? Like 5 minutes? 5 minutes. Yeah. See, like 5 minutes right there will save you 10 minutes throughout the rest of the cut. My thumb right here and hold the long hair out the way, because that way there's no chance of my clipper touching that long hair. See how high I am and it's still not touching it because I'm holding it all back? So right now I'm debulking with this #1 guard. Trying to get all the hair below this this part where the bun is, trying to get all of that to the same length. So it's all gonna be a #1, and then I'll do a taper back here and then a taper on the sides. I like using a #1 because I think it gets the hair to not necessarily so light that you can't see it, but it's also, you don't gotta worry about the hair being long enough to where it kind of comes over the line and, you know, messes up the look of the cut. Careful when you're in this area, like you don't want to rush, because if you do mess around and run the clipper up into the long hair, your client's gonna have like a patch, and you know, obviously they know that hair is coming off, but if they feel a big old clump come out, they know you've messed up. Now what I like to do before I start fading, once I debulk, is to put some powder on the client's head, because obviously I just wet his hair, and you don't know, his scalp might be a little moist. We're in Florida, so people get hot, but this is going to dry the skin out, so it makes it so much easier once you start cutting.
And keeping everything clean.
And it keeps everything clean. It keeps the hair from sticking to them. Like, as I've been cutting for like 5, almost 6 years now. And when I first started cutting, I didn't really use the talc powder at all. But now that I'm like a little bit more kind of mature in the craft and stuff like that, I see the importance of it. So right here, Sean said I need to do a full in-depth breakdown of fading. So this is going to be my Stylecraft Rebel, clipper all the way closed, right? All the way closed. And I'm gonna make my first ball line. I don't like starting with the trimmer because a lot of times it's hard to get that line out. And this way I can just work straight to open, to blend it in. So I'm gonna hit 1 notch, and I'm gonna just tap at that line. Just push it up a little bit. And you see I created a new line, right? But if you think about it, as long as you're going up in size, and the sizes are close enough together, that's what a fade is. One line stacked on top of another line, stacked on top of another line, and each line gets darker and darker and darker as you go up the head until it's faded. Now, if you have them spaced too far apart, your fade is not going to be blurry, but if they're stacked right on top of each other, you'll get a blurry fade. That's all gradients is. It's just different color lines stacked on top of each other, but they're so close in color and so close, you know, in proximity that it just looks like a blur. That was deep. You like how I broke that down?
You actually broke that down pretty nice.
So with this, because it's a one up here, right? I didn't even really use guidelines. I just kind of work from closed all the way to open. I'm gonna grab my half guard in a second and get like right up here. But right now I'm just trying to clear out the bottom and make sure the bottom of the blend is nice and smooth.
So what's the highest guard you using in this fade?
A 1. What's up? Yeah, go ahead. So now here's my half guard. I go 1 notch open.
And that should blend right into your taper.
Pretty much, yeah.
Your back taper should be done with a little bit of detail work. Dave, why is detailing a fade so important?
Yo, truthfully, I think detailing the fade is only as important as you make it. And what I mean by that is, if you have a system that is going to get you, you know, 85% of the way there, then that's better than a system that's going to give you 65% of the way there. You know what I mean? Because then you're going to have to do double the work to get to where the person with 85, their 85% system is. Does that make sense? So I think you really want, the detail is really all about your eye and you just plucking out spots, and your detailing is going to get better as you grow in your barber and craft. But what you really need to focus on is having a system that gets you to 85% of the way there, not 50% of the way there.
It's about developing your system and staying consistent.
Yeah, I fade the same way every time, dude. Every single head, same steps. I might do them in different order, but it's the exact same steps every single time. Some people, when they're doing their, you know, obviously if you're doing a high fade, I would start right here and make my ball line like that. If I was doing a mid fade, people start like that, and a low fade, they start down here. What I like to do is kind of a mix of the mid and the low. I'll start right here, but then I'll angle this down some.
Why do you angle it?
Because it allows me to kind of blow this part of the taper out and keep it real ball right here, but still get a little bit of C-cup action. Like that gives the taper a more bald look. Even if it's gonna be like lower and you wanna maintain some of that hair, it still makes it look more bald because you got all this space back here to make bald, you know? But right now we're just gonna go to 2 with the grain. Just kind of lay these hairs down. And then I'm gonna open it up and come against the grain so I can start fading it in. Again, check this out. We're going 2 with the grain. I lay everything down, right? Especially like in here in the cheek area, right? I want to keep that dark. But this right here, that's naturally darker than this, I want to get rid of this so it looks like this is the darkest point, right? So we went 2 closed with the grain, right? Now we're going to do 2 open against. skipping the half guard. The reason I'm able to skip the half guard is because my blade isn't flat against his skin. I kind of got it like teeth first, and that actually adds a little bit of length, which allows me to skip the half guard. I'm gonna use some of the amazing liquid razor from Chizat. Is that the name? I don't know, whatever the name is, this stuff is fire. I don't really like the OG Walker stuff. I never tried level 3, but the Chizat is where it is at. Now what I will say is, this comes out a little bit more liquidy than the OG Walker stuff. The OG Walker comes out more like a spray. This, you can kind of feel the droplets. I wonder if that's just the nature of the cap that they're using. Like if you use the OG cap on here, would it come out more misty and less pissy? You know what I mean? More misty, less pissy. So now I'm gonna line them up, and when I do lineups, I like to start the same way every time. I always start in the back, work my way up here, work my way down to the beard here, and the other side, same thing, then do the front. Always start the same way, that way you don't, it's a good experience for your clients, because, you know, they know when you do something different, you know what I mean? Or you do something in a different order or something like that. So try to do the same thing every time. Thing is, the hair is not really moving. As soon as the trimmer touches the line, it touches the hair, it makes that line. I think that's I don't think that's really just because of, oh, my trimmers are super sharp. That's because of the prep work. That it's not really how sharp your doggone trimmer is. A lot of times it's the prep work. So making sure that everything is laid down. That's why I brush so much. Everything's all one length. We made sure it's all, you know, either that number 1 or faded out or whatever. You know what I mean? We don't got no long hairs messing us up. Also, we use the liquid razor to help lock that hair into place. So as soon as you tap it, boom, you get the line. You know what I mean? You don't want to just go in and just start cutting. That prep work is important. Prepping the lineup for, prepping the hair for the lineup, prepping the hair for the fade, prepping the hair for, like, even me putting it in a bun was prep. But it saved me time. Hold on. Check this out. I see his C-cup right here. What I'm gonna do is follow that line all the way across to know right where to put it on this side. Boom. And then I'll step back and look and make sure they're even. Then I'll go over here and complete the curve. That way I know that this curve ain't gonna be higher or lower than that curve. And then if I do need to adjust a little bit, I can, but should be pretty good. See how even just without the razor, you can already see it's a sharp lineup without even using the razor. Now his hair is tricky in the front, one, because it's a bun, but two, because naturally it wants to grow back like that. So gotta be careful You got to give him a straight line, but you also don't want to push him back, chasing and chasing and chasing. You know what I mean? So the trick is to just make sure you come tap right on the hair. You're not really pushing. You're just right on top. See how same way I use this corner up here to match this corner, the same way I use this line to match this one. Reese is one of my favorite people to cut because he knows how to stay perfectly still. Some people don't know how to do that. Some people be moving, their head be wobbling, all types of stuff. Reese will go into a coma during a haircut. We gotta check his pulse. And lean your head back. Comfy. What you want to make sure you do when you're using a razor on somebody is you want to hit the line at least twice. Every line needs to be hit at least twice because the first time you're going to get look at all this excess clumpy skin and residue from the liquid razor. But then once I hit it again, look, now the line is thin and sharp, right? You don't want that clumpy look. Blow a bubble. Reese, blow a bubble. Yeah, like this.
Why do you have him blow a bubble?
Because I saw how this side, it wasn't a real loop. It was kind of lumpy right there. So I wanted to make the skin tight so that I could really get that nice curve on the beard. Relax. See that? That looks a lot better. And now for the eyebrows. So what I want him to do is just stay relaxed, keep his eyes closed, and just don't move. I think eyebrows are very similar to doing somebody's hairline in the sense that you want it to be sharp, you want it to look good, but you also want it to be natural as well. So I don't want to carve into his eyebrow too much.
Dave did my eyebrows. They started calling me Megan Thee Stallion in the shop.
You did look hella pretty, cuz.
City girls on top.
But you see that, how I was able to do that? So like on the top, I use the long part of the blade, right? But under here, I want to be careful. I don't want to use the whole blade. So I'm literally only just using like this corner of the blade. Same way you would use the corner of your clipper to detail a haircut, using the corner of the blade. Bang. Same thing with the other side. Flat part of the blade. And then the back half of the blade is going to be for the underneath the eyebrow. But you want to make sure you stretch his eyebrow all the way up so you got enough space under there. So that's valid. All getting service and stuff like that. It's just now the road that I sat in, so 25. The road that I sat in. And here, I want to get the middle, so I'm just going to bring everything to the middle.
You like dry shaving?
Yeah, because I think a lot of times as long as they're comfortable, like if you could tell when the hair is like too thick that this ain't gonna work. But as long as the client's comfortable, I prefer dry shaving because I think it gives me a more accurate result. So it depends on the client's comfortability. But Reese, you cool, right? Yeah. So
Enhancements on him would look nasty.
yeah, but to be honest with you, we kind of don't need it.
Facts.
Yo, shout out to Sean for recording this video for me. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it, dude.
Go Bills. We're going to the Super Bowl next year. Fly Eagles.
All right, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please do not forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment, share it with your people, all of that, because all of that stuff just helps the channel grow, helps people who are looking to learn about barbering, trying to get their skills up. It helps them because it's gonna push my videos in the algorithm so they can learn. So if you wanna be a nice person, if you wanna help me out, if you wanna help other barbers out, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below, do all that stuff, please. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.